Hi, this is Lisa Richards and Charlie Zeese with Stargate Pyramids. And we haven't been on in a while, so we figured we'd touch base with everybody. We actually haven't been on since before we went on the Truth Tour. And we had a great time. We wanted to cover bases and show you, touch a little base on what we did with the Truth Tour, what we were talking about, and what we would like to share with you guys in the upcoming weeks. Charlie and I will be both doing different sessions on different subjects. So the very first thing that we did on the Truth Tour is fly down to Augusta, Georgia. And that was our first stop. So we were planning to go, that's where we wanted to join. We were planning to go to visit the Georgia Guidestones, but they got blown up before that. Just a few days before that it happened.
2 days before we were supposed to go. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad, not that the Georgia Guidestones got blown up, but I'm glad they got blown up a few days before we got there, because that could be kind of incriminating for us to be there and
That's for sure.
as a group for the Truth Tour,
Yeah, true.
But we didn't get to go there.
But we did have a good time. I mean, with Lisa and I was able to go to Augusta, Nashville, Charlotte, Virginia Beach, and Harrisburg. Lisa, we all got sick, by the way, in varying degrees. So Lisa actually had to leave the tour, after 2 days, was it?
3 days, yeah.
3 days, yeah. So she didn't make it the full way through, but I did. But then I got home and I was not well for some period of time. So there is some thought that perhaps this was something that was planted, to be honest, and because everyone was deathly sick. I didn't get as sick nearly as most people did, thank goodness. But I know, Lisa, you had some tough times there and had to drop out and fly home. So anyway.
Yes. And when we first joined the tour, they had already been traveling around in the RV, having all kinds of problems with the RV. I think it was the third or fourth one that they had, but they were all just getting over being sick. When they were in Sarasota, Florida, they were thinking somebody utilized a bioweapon of some sorts to make them sick. Michael Jaco got so sick he couldn't continue on with the tour.
Right.
And a lot of people. So.
And I know that the organizers of the tour were saying that their computers were hacked as well. So they were hacked in real time on the tour. So they were literally able to watch somebody hacking into their computer. So with all of that said, it was still a fun experience, very time consuming. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to participate in the second tour. I believe that is Sunday, October 9th in New Jersey. I will be there. We'll do another announcement about that. But, as far as what I did on the tour, I did a 5-part summary of the new book that I wrote, 76.345, Exploring the Hidden Secrets of the Golden Ratio. And what I was thinking about on the trip, and I think what I've decided to do now to segue into what we're going to be doing over the next several weeks, I'm going to be developing a series of videos on the book. And 5 of those are going to come basically from the topics that I covered about various locations of architecture, the Tartarian Empire, free energy, and so forth. But I'm also going to do some additional classes. So this is going to be probably an 8 to 10 part series. I am going to go through the math in some of these, what sacred geometry is, what the golden ratio is, how I derive the pyramid geometry, and then some of my own research. But we're going to be doing those, letting those, I'll be releasing these as part of our weekly series on Wednesdays. Some of these may be live streams with questions and answers, but I will be starting that project here in the very near future. So, Lisa, what are you going to be doing? I know you did a lot of interesting topics on the tour as well.
Yeah, it was exciting because I wasn't really sure what I was going to talk about at each spot. I just knew several topics that I would like to talk about. So on Augusta, I actually talked about geopathic stress, the earth energies and how powerful they are, and how, the ones that are harmful to humans, and how to utilize things like the pyramids to deflect that energy and transform it for yourself. It was funny because I'm, a lot of you know that I'm also a medium. And one of the speakers that was there heard that I was a medium, and she purposely changed her topic that day. And well, not her topic, I should say, but she added some extra slides in to mainly tell me that I was going to hell for being medium, because we're in the Bible Belt, so I expected it. But so the next day we spoke in Nashville, Tennessee, still in the Bible Belt. So I figured I'd do a controversial topic that day. And since she was another one of the speakers that day too, I did my topic on mediumship, communicating with spirits. And that was the busiest one that I was at. It was a really nice place. It was packed. And I was expecting some sort of hesitancy, but it was very well received. It was very well received. And it was funny because Lewis afterwards, he said to me, that was really good. I'm glad that you did such a controversial topic, and because he knew nothing about it either. And he goes, did you see what she was doing? The girl that was there, the speaker. And I said, no, I thought she would get mad and walk out when she heard what I was talking about. And he said, no, she was pacing back and forth in the back of the room, praying the entire time. So maybe that's why I got sick. I don't know.
Wow.
She's cursing me, I guess. But
correlation doesn't mean causation.
But I got a lot of people that came up afterwards, and they're like, I'm so glad you talked about that topic. My mom was a medium. There was a guy that came up and said that he has been. A lot of people didn't realize that you didn't have to be born with this. And that's one of the things I wasn't aware of when I first got into this, So that's one of the topics I'm going to talk about soon on our YouTube channel here. And then the third day, it was in Charlotte, North Carolina, I believe.
Yep.
And that one I talked about electrical magnetic frequencies, the signals coming from your phone and your Wi-Fi router, and things that people aren't really familiar about. Cordless phones are actually way more harmful to you than your cell phone because they're constantly on, and they're in like a 25-foot radius from the base. Another thing similar to a cordless phone is sadly a baby monitor. How many mothers don't realize that? How many parents don't realize that? And they have it right next to their baby, and their baby's constantly fussing and crying. It's because they're being radiated by that little device. So, and, we talked about a lot of these topics to teach people, not to scare them. That's what I told everybody. I said, these are scary topics, but there are ways to remedy the situations, and these things aren't going to be gone anytime soon. So we need to figure out how to remedy the situation and how to live with them. And that's what we talked about. Even when I did my talk on mediumship, I said, this may not be your truth, but it is my truth. And that's the whole purpose of the Truth Tour. It was to discover what the real truth is in the world, because we've all been lied to so much on every level. Nobody knows who to believe anymore. Nobody knows who to trust anymore. And the only way that we're going to start learning about the truth is experiencing it for ourselves and talking to others who have experienced it. Why were we told long ago not to talk about politics, not to talk about religion, not to talk about these things? There was a reason behind it, but we should be talking about this stuff. Sure. So it was a great event. We got to meet people like Kathy O'Brien. Mark Z was there. We got to meet Lewis Herms. We were actually on the RV with him riding around. I was hoping to meet Ben Barlow, so he can teach me about the state nationalist stuff. I signed up for one of his courses just a little bit ago. So I'm eager to learn more about that. But, just the different things we learned on the tour, the different flag, how the flag that we fly now is actually the military flag. And if you fly that flag over your house, the military can occupy your home in wartime, which we still technically are in wartime. That's why we're still under the wartime flag. So people should be flying the civilian peace flag, because if you fly that, you're under civilian rule, civilian law, and the military rule doesn't affect you. So there's just a lot of cool things that we learned. But some of the upcoming topics I would like to touch on, not just the 3 that I already spoke about, but I want to talk about grounding, its different effects, utilizing it with the pyramid energy. I'm going to be making ormus, or white powdered gold, it's called, inside of my meditation pyramid, outside, and I'll show people how to do that as well. Electroculture, growing your plants with electricity and tools like the pyramid and the ormus. That's one of the main reasons that I'm making the ormus. And then water, how to charge your water. We're going to do some readings with the BioWell device we have with the water, charged in the pyramid, and then for certain amounts of time. How strong is it compared to 1 day as 4 months, So some cool things like that. Water is a crystalline structure, so there's a lot to it and that people aren't aware of. And I don't know, there's a lot of cool topics we'll be talking about soon. So Charlie's going to be doing his series. You'll be seeing me pop up with my different events, and then we'll also be having guests on as well. And I expect to do my Love Blast meditations again soon as well.
Great. So while you were talking, I went ahead and decided I'll start this series next Wednesday, August 31st. And I'll do an intro to my book, and then, we'll be filling in. The next week is going to be Thomas Mueller. And, after that, we'll start, Lisa and I will be doing topics, I from the book and she from her talks on the Truth Tour. And we'll be mixing in guests and other research each week as time goes on. Some of these will be live streams and some may just be pre-recorded. So be on the lookout for the newsletter every week that'll tell you, what's coming up each week. So is there anything else? Oh, there's one other thing I want to point out to everyone. Earlier this week, I went ahead and put a link in. Any products that you now buy from Lisa or me on stargatepyramids.com will come including a free link to the PDF version of my book. So you'll get that in your order, your shipping confirmation. There'll be a link to the book, and you can download the PDF version. That version is usable in your Kindle reader. So all you have to do is bring that book in and you can read it on your Kindle reader. So anything else you'd like to share at this point, Lisa?
Yeah, well, that's so exciting. I didn't know about that. Charlie just told me that before we started the show, but that's so wonderful. There's so much good information in there. You guys are going to love it. He worked really hard the past few years on that book. There's just so much in there. The only other thing I need to add is I do have now on Charlie's website. So my website, Pyramid Surge, will be coming down very soon. Charlie and I have been talking about this. We sound like we keep repeating ourselves because we feel like we're in Groundhog's Day and we just keep repeating. But our website was supposed to be up, and we were supposed to be combined under just Stargate Pyramids the beginning of the year, and it's now
August,
almost
end of
September,
August,
and it's still all my products are on there, but we're still tweaking some things, so we may have some issues here and there. So just please work with us. But my Pyramid Surge site will be coming down soon after we get those couple issues settled. So then all sales will just go through Stargate Pyramids. I did just add the new capstone, so the Galactic Capstone and the Apex Amplifier combo. So that's available on there now. And we will be adding other combinations soon as well, probably including a capstone and the Apex Amplifier with the Stargate. That's probably something we'll do down the road too.
Yeah. Once we figure out the logistics, how to put the order into the system and have it work.
We have a lot of ideas, but we need to fix the system first.
One other thing that I did want to say, I did a video last week telling you that we were going to be stopping the galactic line of Stargate Pyramids. I did check into 3D printing, and unfortunately that's just going to be cost prohibitive. So we are going to be looking though at some other potential ways of getting some connectors built that will allow us to not only sell potentially just the connectors themselves, but also make them in metric so that customers in Europe, Australia, and England can buy the connectors potentially, and be able to use the metric pipe that's available in your countries. So we're working on that, and I have an idea as to a potential place to get that done. And once I've explored it, they're amenable to trying it. So we'll see if my idea, will work. But anyway, look for that as well in the near future. So,
yeah, and then the only other thing I wanted to add real quick, Charlie, was if there are any of you guys that have been utilizing our pyramids, we've been doing this for a few years now. We have so many people all over the world, but we'd love to hear from you. Come on our live stream as a guest and give us a little testimonial. It doesn't even have to be live. If you don't want to, just submit something to us and we can read it on lives or under one of our videos. But also healers, if you're a healer and you utilize our pyramid technology and you'd like to do a live like the ones that you've seen, where our guests can come on and enjoy your healing energies as well, we would love to have you. Get a hold of Charlie or I, and we'll set that up.
Okay, sounds great.
Yep.
So anyway, we'll be releasing this over the weekend of August 26th, 7th, 8th. So join us on Wednesday, August 31st for the intro to my intro video into my book. And we look forward to taking questions if you have any between now, after the show. So we thank you all for listening today, and you have a great day.